Good morning, everyone. This is Jennifer Sanchez. How's it going? You are watching the Wise Morning Coffee Chat show. That transition was terrible, by the way. Like I'm sitting here, like, what did I just do? But you know, you are watching our show where we inspire, motivate, conversate. The whole premise of the show is part of our community, the Women's Institute of Self Development and Efficacy, WISE for short, and we love to just highlight amazing women from our community or to our community. We do coaching, retreats, conferences. We have workshops. We have a membership community. So I'm the founder of the community, as well as I am a mom, entrepreneur, investor, serial entrepreneur now. So I do a whole bunch of different stuff. We have also a running community. So we are busy over here. So that's who I am. I'll push it, give it to now to my co-host.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kimberly Montesinos, and it is such a pleasure for me to be a part of the WISE community. It's a great place for women in personal and in business. I too am kind of a serialpreneur. I own a cleaning company, Crystal Clear Cleaning. I also like to educate people on how to have a non toxic home by using products that will not harm them or their families. And today I'm just really excited to have our guest, Erin and Attere. Is that how you say your last name?
Attere.
Attere. Okay, I just wanted to pronounce it correctly.
Yeah.
I met Erin at another networking group, and it's been. I haven't seen her in a couple of years due to COVID because we all have this like with COVID, right? But I've seen her in the last 3 months, and right away this last month I said I have to connect with Erin and get her in this community and get her exposed and allow this connection with Wise and Jennifer. She has such a beautiful story and a beautiful mission, and it really correlates really well with what Wise wants to do to empower women as well. So that's me.
Nice. Thank you, Kim. And Erin, can you give a nice introduction about you? I know we're going to go all into your story, but share an introduction of who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, such an honor to be here. Thank you, ladies. I love connecting with women. I love doing great things together. So I'm really looking forward to today's conversation. My name is Erin. I'm a proud mama of two brave and beautiful girls, age 7 and 4. I'm blessed to have an amazing husband who has supported me along this journey, this done life together. And I left corporate America 1 year ago to really pursue my passion, which is empowering women, exactly as you ladies have done. Really, we've got a company, Threads Worldwide, that creates life-changing work. We'll talk more about that, but essentially, I wake up every day with purpose, and I wake up very living intentionally, and my life has been transformed by this work. So, such a blessing. I'm looking forward to continuing to grow the impact that we have together and also empower women locally to live their best lives.
Yes. I love that. We're definitely all about living in our purpose, following our passions. I'm all over that. So, Erin, you're definitely speaking our lingo. So, if you guys are watching, remember this is an interactive show. Make sure you say hi, good morning. Don't be shy. We won't bite, I promise. So, of course, let's go into most of our favorite parts. If you love coffee, you love this part of our show, right? It's coffee time. So, the whole premise of the show is Erin, you might have done this. I know Kim does this all the time, right? It's like you meet an entrepreneur, you meet someone that you want to create some sort of business relationship or partnership, or maybe you just want to get to know this person because you think they're awesome. So then are like, let's go get a cup of coffee, right? We always say this, So when actually this started when COVID started, right? Because we're on episode 89. So it was kind of like, why don't we just do a show around that? Like around like, let's go get a cup of coffee. Let's go get to know each other, right? So I'll go for first, right? I have my it's this a wise woman once said a la chingada, and she lived happily ever after. So that just means like screw this. And she lived happily ever after. Um, so and I'm drinking like a caramel black coffee. So that's what I'm drinking this morning. Kim, what are you drinking this morning?
So good morning, yeah, I'm a lad. I'm the same as she is this morning. I have this weekend I was drinking coffee. So today I just wanted to kind of filter my body, and I'm drinking water with vitamin C. But I know after this I'll have like a caramel flavored coffee as well. That's my favorite. So that's what I'm doing at the moment.
Nice, nice. We're hydrating. We're keeping ourselves hydrated.
Hydrating.
We're hydrating. How about you, Erin? What are you drinking?
Yes. Well, I think mugs matter, right? It's the little things what you look at. So I'm drinking in my Empowered Women Empower Women.
Yes.
I got some fair trade coffee, of course, right? Your dollar matters. And it's actually from our partners in Ethiopia, cinnamon flavored. So I'm loving it.
Oh, nice. That sounds
Wow.
cool. I
Yeah.
would love to try that.
Me too.
Some,
Yeah. You should.
It's starting good. The interview is starting good even with the coffee.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be a
Exactly.
good day when you got something good in your cup, right?
Exactly. So let me make sure. Good morning. Jamalet said, "Good morning, ladies. I'm drinking water right now, but my favorite is some Dunkin' coffee with hazelnut creamer at home. Yes, that's delicious. Thank you, Jamalet. So definitely, let's go into we want to get to know you more, Erin. And ask you questions, and I'll let Kim take over because Kim's actually the one that she's like Jennifer, Erin's awesome. So I'm like, yeah, let's do this, right? Let's bring her on the show. So Kim, go for it.
So thank you so much, Jennifer. So I was reading your bio. When I hear you speak at Engaging Speakers, I just want to learn more about how you became, what triggered you to become in this in your business with the jewelry, just by helping women in other countries. I was totally, as soon as you introduced yourself, like, I want to know this woman, because I want to know what she's doing to help not only, like you said, women locally, but abroad. There is a store in Oak Park that I go to every time I go. I always intentionally go to that store when I go to Oak Park, because anything you buy in that store helps, whatever piece that is, it helps that woman in that country. So I automatically thought of you, and but your passion was way more than just buying a piece of jewelry. So please take the floor and share what made you start this and leave corporate, because many of us have done that, but it takes a lot of courage and a community to help you do that. So go ahead and tell us about it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Kim, the funny part is I never had any intention of being an entrepreneur. I never, some women, and Jennifer, I know you introduced yourself as like this, you love it, right? And that was just never me. I wanted to go to work and do something and come home and live life. And I really, I joke that I'm kind of a recovering perfectionist and people pleaser, right? So all my life, I looked great on paper. I got straight A's in school, went to college, went to grad school, got the quote unquote good job where you're earning six figures and doing things. And I missed 3 out of my daughter's first 4 birthdays due to business travel. So even when I was home, I wasn't really home and fully present, because I'd be thinking about work. And when I was at work, I was thinking about my family and how I'm missing out on these things. And I know many of your listeners can just really empathize with that experience of like, how do you aspire and grow, right? Work your way up that corporate ladder, or have a successful career, and also successfully be the mom that you want to be in life, the woman and the wifey and all the things. And so I just found that I was dreading Mondays and sometimes even dreading Sundays. And I knew I wanted to change, but I didn't know what that would look like. I wanted to get back into making an impact. My former career before I started in corporate 15 years ago was in nonprofit, and I love that. But it doesn't always make the income that you want for a certain lifestyle. A friend of mine invited me to drink wine and shop, and I said yes. I had a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old at the time, and I needed a mama's night out. And so we joked, glad that my friend Anna drove that night, because she drove us to this like home. And I said, is this an in-home party? Like, what are we doing? I'm not trying to get a sales pitch, right? Like during my mama's night out. And, Kim, it's so funny. I feel like God, the universe, whoever has a plan bigger than what you think. And so I showed up that night, and I met our founder, Sarah, and she talked about how she and her 2 best friends just traveled the world, and they saw extreme poverty. They saw women who were in the sex trade. They saw women who had to choose which child ate for the day, and they knew that they had to make a difference. And they started this company, Threads Worldwide, to create this work opportunity so women could thrive and not just survive. And I never looked any interest in sales or direct sales, any of that stuff. And I just went home that evening, like almost in tears, thinking about if I had to choose between my Michaela and my Amaya, like who eats every single day? Like no woman should ever, ever have to make that change.
Wow.
So I started very part-time, a couple hours a month, and I just fell in love with the women who are drawn to this work. I fell in love with our partners. I fell in love with waking up with purpose every day, knowing that what matters. Our partners transform bullet shell casings in Ethiopia into like badass bracelets that turn war and violence into something that's so beautiful. And I talked to my husband. I said, I'm really loving this work. I feel like I'm meant to do this. We're such a small company. We're less than 100 people. I feel like I'm meant to grow this. I'm meant to lead this and really make this impact. And so I made the jump and traveled to Guatemala in April to meet our partners and their families and seeing how lives are transformed through beautiful jewelry. And it's been one of the best decisions ever. I'm so grateful for this work.
Wow.
Wow.
It's one of those things that you kind of like in your store, you kind of stumbled into it, right? You're like, let me go get wine. And they're like, boo, boo, here's
Yeah.
a business, right? Like, like that's how it sounds like, it's awesome, right? Because sometimes those are the best ways of finding our purpose, You're dabbling in one thing and then something else pops up and you're like, oh, this is it. So I can appreciate that story because, that's how I feel like it's even more for me, it's about God, right? So it's more God driven, right? Because it's kind of like, here you go, take it, So I love that.
Yeah, thank you.
And I have a similar story with entrepreneurship. I didn't know that about Erin. So when I started Crystal Clear Cleaning, I had no desire. It took the woman a year to convince me to even try. So as Jennifer said, and in actuality, that's exactly why I tried, because the woman made a comment, God keeps bringing me to you. So when she said that to me, I took the leap of faith saying, well, if it works, we'll see. If it doesn't, I tried, right? If God does want this for me, then I'm going to try it. But I loved your story because it's touching lives. You're going in your path for the same reason I did mine, to change lives, because I had a similar woman in my life touch my life. So what you're doing I love what you just said about the bullets, taking war and turning it into beauty. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is really cool.
That's really for all of our pieces, right? So our partners leverage locally resource materials. So it's very environmentally sustainable, right? So things like agua seeds in Ecuador, paper in Uganda. And so it's literally working with our partners to build a brighter world for them, for ourselves, for the environment. I mean, it's really kind of a win-win. And that's our vision, is to change the way business is done. I think people would shop differently if they knew that they're voting for their dollar, right, with certain practices. And fair trade, it gets rid of things like child labor and unsafe working conditions and all these things that are really important that people sometimes just don't think about or know about, right? Because the labels aren't out there. So it's, the materials they use, it's so cool. So cool.
Yeah. And I guess my question to you which is when you made the leap, right, from leaving corporate America, because that's a scary thing. It's not, it is to be on your own and say, screw it, I'm going to do this and just go full force. Well, you said you first started part time, but then you went, you left corporate America. What was that breaking point? That point where you were like, boom, I'm done.
Yeah. It's kind of a mix of gradual over time. I kept thinking like, wow, I'm really starting to love this. I'm really starting to like fall in love with this work. And I started to see the possibilities of what's happening. I started reading a lot more books, right? I'm a big believer, like you, Jennifer, self-development girl. You need to grow yourself. And so reading women like Glennon Doyle, Untamed, or The Magic of Thinking Big, or things that really help us to get outside of ourselves and really dream bigger and aspire into higher things. So building confidence in that way. And then literally one day I was in a meeting, girl. This is, if I had to name one moment, I was in a meeting And our team was debating. I used to be in kind of research and working with marketing teams, etc. I was in a 30-minute debate over using the word the versus a. And we had to table that conversation because we couldn't come to a conclusion. So we had to I'm like, what am I doing with my life? 30 minutes. So we were the versus it was a highly regulated industry. Words matter, right? I understand messaging, but I just knew that I wasn't using my gifts in life. And so in that moment, I knew I needed a change. And then simultaneously, I was doing all this growth to dream big and also seeing success in my business and building a team and personal sales and just really connecting with our partners during COVID and seeing what this was making. I mean, this literally, our partners told us this was a lifeline for them. And so just knowing that had impact. I crunched a spreadsheet. I told my husband, this is the numbers. This is how things are looking. I think I can do this. How do you feel about it? And he's such an amazing man. He said, of course, I believe in you. Chase your dream. I got you. And so
Beautiful. I
That
love
is
that.
beautiful.
Especially when you can have a partner that comes alongside you and says,
yeah.
go for it. I love
Amen.
that.
And I earned the trip for him to come with us to Guatemala. So not only has he helped me along the way, but he got to see in person what we were making possible. And he's a very avid supporter. It was really powerful.
Yeah. So we have some comments. I want to make sure I say good morning to Jennifer. She's a member of our community, also a graduate of our program. Good morning, ladies. Jamila, she said, wow. And she wrote, wow, what a beautiful way to help others. What is the name of the company again?
Yeah. So the company is called Threads Worldwide. And if you go to my specific website, it's just threadsworldwide.com and then / my name, Erin, ERIN ATTERE.
Yeah, I believe I have it on the description of this broadcast, so they should be able to find it there. So if they have any questions, they can reach out to you, and your email's there as well. So we made sure we put that out there. But yeah, I definitely love the fact that and I've always had this thing about. Well, I want to talk about two things. I know we're running out of time, but like the whole, you made a great comment about balance, and Kim, I know you're big on this too, right?
Yeah.
We're big on balance, and like realistically, is there such thing as like a balanced life? Probably not. Like, but there are ways to manage, and make things a lot easier for us. So like I hear like work life, it's like really balance what you're really focused on in that very moment. So if like I'm
Mhm.
gonna prioritize probably my marathon right now, or less, or whatever I'm in, right, really passionate about, I'm going to prioritize that right at that moment because I'm in that moment. So I'm going to find balance around that situation, right, versus trying to be like, oh, I got to make sure I'm a great mom and I'm a great wife and I'm a great daughter, and like some people that get neglected, like I'm sorry, like you will get neglected, and I do not feel bad about that, but that's my stance on it. What about you guys?
Yeah, great question, Jennifer. And I think honestly, that's the key, especially in today's world, right? When mamas are trying to juggle all the things. I've done a lot of personal growth in this past year because as a business owner, you want to jump all in. You're passionate. You want to spend all your time there. And as a mom, like I want to be with my kids. I want to be with my husband. And I found for me, it's less about work-life balance and more about work-life integration. And so I
Mm.
find ways where my kids help me make videos, my husband and I are doing some things together, or we just find out ways where we can be connected and also just living intentionally. I talk a lot about, I was just a speaker at Engaging Speakers, sharing a life by design and really deciding what's important to you in life, right? Creating those values and those priorities and literally putting them in your schedule. So the first thing I do every morning before I begin my day is I pour into myself with my miracle morning, right? I wake up an hour
Mm.
earlier than my family, which is hard at first, but then
Whoop.
you fill your battery, you fill your cup so that you can pour into others. And then I spend the next hour with my kids and we read books, we eat cereal, we have fun, we have a dance party, even if it's 5 minutes, right? Even if it's a quick little something so that regardless of what happens the rest of the day, you spent quality time with your family. And
Yes.
then it goes from there. So planning and really prioritizing and figuring out ways that you can integrate, both the work and the home.
That, and I love that. I love the idea of quality versus quantity.
Yes.
Because you could be
Yes.
with your kids all dang day and
Yeah.
not give them any attention, or right. Like, I love how people say this, like, oh, they turn on the TV, and I'm not hating on nobody, but like, they think because they turn on the TV and I'm sitting next to them and I'm on my phone, that's like quality time. That's not quality time, right?
Right.
Like,
Yes.
you maybe because you're sitting next to them physically, they feel like, oh, well, you're there. Like, yeah, but really, it's about having like, right, not quantity but quality. Like, spending time with them. Like, I actually take my kids running with me. Like, get on the bike, get in the
Yeah.
stroller, let's go. Like, I've done it, but then my 8-year-old hates running. She's like, Mom, like, a block in, she's like, I give up. Take me back.
Yeah.
Darn it, this is not going to work, you know? But I love the example, Erin. I mean, we have to get creative with how to spend time with our kids,
We
get
have
them
to.
involved, right? Kim, I know Kim, you've seen me, Kim, when I've brought my kids to events. Like, I
Yeah,
bring, and, and I never shun a woman for like bringing their child to an event,
absolutely.
Mhm.
because to me it's like, look, you're trying to get your thing going, I get it, bring your kid if you have to, because I've actually been shunned by bringing a child to someone else's event, and it did not feel very nice at all. And that was obviously, and that's a whole different story that me and Kim actually know about it. But Kim, go ahead, do you have any questions? Because I'm like, I'm gonna go into a tangent.
No, no. So, and then I also think it's where you're at in life. Like you both have younger children, and so my children are now 27 and 22. So I was the same way. I purchased my business and started it because I didn't want to miss my children's plays, and I was a PTA mom, I was a soccer coach. I was really involved with my kids. Now they're grown. So my balance is, what does Kim want to do?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm in my life right now of really being intentional about what it is I want to do and how do I want to give back? What kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? Not just for my children. My children, it used to be my why. They will always be my treasure, but they're not my why right now.
Mhm.
And I used to feel bad to say that, but I've stepped into my own power to say it's okay. My why has changed to, I want it for me now, and whatever happens in my life, it'll transfer to them. So when they were your children's age, my why was them. Everything I did was for them. And now it's shifted, which is really, really for any listeners that are out there that are like in their 50s, when you when you get into your 50s, you start to transition your thoughts because now your children are thinking about what they want to do with their life, right? And so now it's like, oh, well, now what do I do? Right. And that's where I'm at. And then that balance is, you know, having time with my partner, having time with my children. So now it's quality when my daughter comes home, right? It's quality when I get to have time with them. But my everyday is, I want to be intentional that I'm doing the things that I want to do to change lives every single day, touch somebody every single day, be a part of a community like Wise that I know that it's going to change someone, uplift a woman, inspire a woman, connect a woman, do something every day, no matter how minute or how big, to help change someone's life or enhance their life. That's why I
Hmm.
love this community.
Kim,
Amen.
you said, and I think that it's so important. I think many women sometimes can hold ourselves back, right? We feel guilty. We feel like we're indulgent in these things. And no, girl, you need to live your best life. We have one of them, and you need to figure out what is it that brings you joy? What is it that brings you happiness,
Mhm.
make an impact in others? And know that you're an example. So your children witnessing you do these things actually like has a huge role in how they lead their lives and how they,
Yes.
go through these different stages too. One example, every morning we do, Mel Robbins has like this high five habit. I don't know if
Yep.
you ladies have heard of that.
No, we read those books. You talked about the
Yeah,
morning miracle. We already read that in our
yeah,
community. You talk about the high five. We just finished that like 2 months ago. Like, we're on the
yeah.
same level.
And I teach that to my kids now, right? So, it's actually empowering when you teach your children, regardless whatever age, right? So every morning we wake up, we give ourselves, we say affirmations, right? So my little 4-year-old is like, I'm independent, I'm brave, right? She's like saying words and like,
Oh,
who knows whatever sticks, what she understands. We give each other a high five, you high five in the mirror. And ladies, it has been so heartwarming. We were, at one of those bounce houses that's really big and difficult to climb. And she was struggling and she was struggling. She kept falling down. She was like the littlest kid trying to do this big thing. And she stood up and she did like a little power pose and she said, I believe in myself. And then she went all the way up without a problem. And it's like those moments
beautiful.
when we grow into ourselves, we're an example and we're an example for our children. So, Kim, I admire you for figuring out what your passion is and spending your time there. And you're going to inspire your children and other women and the community around you by being your best self. So, don't feel guilty about that, girl. I'm excited to see where that journey takes you.
Me too. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I'm meeting women like you and knowing women like Jennifer. That's what inspired me about Jennifer being a young woman and doing all these amazing things and not having any barriers, because we learn from our younger generation and we grow with our, like, it's a great combo, right? So hey, we make life what it is, right? It's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing.
One of the biggest things that I struggled with is like that imposter syndrome, and I've spoke about it. Not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily, maybe I didn't call it the imposter syndrome, but like the whole idea of like, am I good enough? Will people take me seriously? Oh, I'm too young. I don't know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those thoughts of like, this is what is limiting me from like going full force. And it was just one day, it was like, you know what, Jennifer, as long as you're one step ahead of the person in front of you, there's no reason why you can't talk about what you're talking about. If you picked up something that could solve someone's problem, and they're just turning their wheels over and over and over again, and that's why I love this community, because we bring women with from all walks of life, different experiences, different backgrounds, and they're all pouring into one another. And it's like, I don't know everything, but I know that Kim knows. She has life experience. She knows this, she knows that. Like that's why our community thrives so well, in my opinion, because it's kind of like we're all using where we're at, what we know, and pouring into one another. And that's why I love Wise.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The diversity is very important and empowering and coming together, as Erin said. And that's what drew me to Erin immediately. I mean, we're in a big room, and what's nice is they do this networking, and you go like in the corner, like one, group two, group three. And I have to tell you, Jennifer, when I was in my group and I saw that she was coming, I was like,
Nice.
I love that. I did not know that. Oh, I felt your vibes too, Kim. Like you're such a good spirit, and I think it's we gotta support each other. Threads. We have these family values. Each of the letters spells an acronym, and the first T is together we rise. Right? It
right.
truly is through this community that you're creating. It's about uplifting each other. How can we support each other? How can we pour into each other? How can we grow together? So I love the work that you guys are doing with Wise to really get out there, because imagine what the world would be if we all like leaned into our potential, right, and brought our gifts to this world. Like it's a beautiful beautiful thing to think about. So thank you for empowering others to really um, gain that confidence and have a community that's supportive and encouraging growth and development. It's beautiful.
Oh no, thank you, thank you. And I feel like this is not going to be the last time we're going to see you, Erin, in our community. Um, we're always looking for speakers. We're always looking for opportunities to partner together. Like, I'm
Yes.
all, definitely will reach back out. But I want to share this comment before I wrap up here. This Facebook user, I believe she's probably in the Facebook group. So just let us know who you are. Unless you are a late bloomer, my kid is 11. And it is a balance with kids. I think she's referring to the conversation we had previously. And then, is there anything, Kim, that you want to promote, or Erin, you want to promote before we wrap up?
No, I just really would love for our community to reach out and get to know more about Erin's cause. And Erin, we just learn more about Wise as well. I mean, we have so many different avenues that are beneficial for women. And hopefully like the conference. You can attend the conference. We have a retreat that's coming up. I just feel like that vibe for the retreat you would love. I actually am a retreat junkie. I love going to the retreats every year.
Yeah.
And it just really allows us to have a safe space and come together and work on the things that we need in that time, because every year, sometimes every month can be a different challenge, right? So just coming together and knowing you're not alone. A community, what do they say, a village raises a child, a village also empowers a woman, right? So the
Yeah.
retreats are amazing. So just I'd love to connect with you, give you some more information. And currently it's just getting more of the coffee chat out there, getting more ladies like yourself onto the coffee chat and sharing with the community. I love it. And thank you so much for coming on so fast. When I reached out and said, hey, I'd love you to be, and you were just like, absolutely. So thank you for being so flexible and kind.
No, absolutely. An honor to be here. And I love what you ladies are about. So happy to promote too, right? Like I want to share and grow so we're all
Mm-hmm.
supporting each other.
Mm.
Yeah, and if anyone in this community or anyone you know is looking for work, ladies, we are growing this company. As I mentioned, we're less than 100 across the entire nation. My team was in the top 3 out of 5 nationwide for sales. This is someone who has zero sales experience, right? Zero interest before. And so we're doing big things to earn an income and make an impact.
Definitely.
This month, we're also doing, we always do a lot of give back stuff. So in July, we're donating 10% of our sales to the charity of your choice as well. So maybe if you don't want to work, but you want to bring your friends together, drink wine, and talk about stories of the women who are empowered through this jewelry, would love to partner and also support your favorite charity, the 10% donation, in addition to free jewelry benefits, as always. But
Nice.
You guys could talk about the fat girl community too, because Jennifer has her own 501c, her own nonprofit that she's doing. So you can connect and talk about that more. Yes, it's amazing.
Yes.
yeah,
So our running community is a 501c3. We just made it a 501c3 about a month ago or a month and a half ago. So what we're really doing is we want to encourage women of all levels to just get active, go out there. You don't got to be a 5K or you don't got to be a marathon runner, right? As long as you can get your butt up and walk, you can be called a runner. Like if you own a pair of running shoes, you are a runner. Like I don't care what level, right, of running you're doing. But that's exactly what I did want to share with those. We do have our 5K run where it's not necessarily, we're not calling women fat. Like, I know that's a triggering word. And I did a survey and someone were like, Jennifer, I don't like that word. And I'm like, look, I'm not calling you fat. And at the end of the day, we do need to change the meaning, the feelings, the triggers behind that word. Like, so
Right.
I changed it up to fearless, authentic, tenacious, right? That's what a fat girl is, where we really want women to feel empowered in their skin. Like, and Erin, you ran the marathon. I had this false misconception that marathon runners were like all slender, all fit, right? But when I ran that marathon, I was
all
like,
ages, all sizes, and
yep,
people are speedy too. You're like, wow, okay, this is it's amazing. It's
yeah.
open for sure.
When the 80-year-old man was beating me,
Yes, it humbles you. Humbles you. Like,
I
oh,
was like, oh, okay, like
Well,
this,
that gives me hope.
yeah.
so anyone could be a runner.
Oh my God, not the 80-year-old. Jennifer, you are so funny. Oh my
I just
gosh.
like,
I just want to share something really quick though. That's amazing. I wore this shirt today. It's called Irie.
Uh-huh.
My girlfriend, I went away this weekend with a bunch of friends and they made this shirt for everybody. And I thought today would be a great day to wear it. In Jamaica, it means, so I thought
it means happy.
it means happy.
Oh, nice.
Like another, like you're coming together, you're happy. They're really big on, you know, making taking a lemon and making it lemonade, right? And so just wearing this shirt, we all came together this weekend and we are just like, let's just be happy and bring more happiness to people in a world right now that needs a lot of love. So I wanted to share this love with you ladies today and say I'm so happy to be here and be present in this moment with the three of you and all of our listeners.
Amen. Yes, and those even watching the replay, I love that happy. And that is exactly what we're all doing, right? We want to get happy. We want to. I think you're in your most happy. Happy. There's like a back echo, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hello. Okay. Yeah, I think we're most happy when we're pursuing our passion. So this is perfect. I love this.
Mhm.
Thank you, Kim, for sharing that word and blessing us with that today. And yeah, definitely anyone that wants to support the run, run with us in the mornings, or wants to, we have our 5K on August 7th. Just come out.
Yes.
It's going to be in Brookfield, Illinois.
Yeah.
Um, we'll be together. Anyone that wants to still sponsor and be a sponsor for the run, let us know so we can promote you. So yeah, we got a bunch of stuff happening. So, but either way, thank you so much, Erin,
Yes.
Thank
for
you. What an honor to be here. What a gift to start the morning with you ladies. And we can launch into our week empowering ourselves and others. I love it. Thank you.
exactly. And it was a blessing to see your babies right before we went out
Yeah.
live. They were so beautiful, beautiful young ladies.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
I love that she did a power pose. I love the whole thing that you said that she did a power pose before she did what she did. I'm like, that's awesome.
Imagine,
Um,
ladies, if we started this, so this was, yeah, she's 4 now, so that she just turned 4. She did this when she was 3. Imagine if at age 3, we came into our power and we just came into our confidence and we just approached life knowing we believe in ourselves. Like, that's the kind of world I want to build for little girls, right? And women, right? Who struggled maybe long time, decades, right? With really believing in ourselves and knowing that we can do hard things and accomplish great things in the world. So, um,
amen.
Amen.
I
I love
love
your
that.
cause.
Yes, it's such a good cause. And we have Nara. She said yes. And she said, yes, sponsor the run. So she wrote sponsor the run. She's part of our board for nonprofit. So she's like, yes, do it.
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. I know it's 8 o'clock, and I know everyone got to take babies to work, or I mean, take babies to camp and work and all that fun stuff. So, you guys have an amazing, amazing rest of your week, and thank you for giving me your time, Erin and Kim. I really
Yes.
appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you too. Thank you, Erin, again. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day, ladies.
yes,
Yeah.
you too. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye, ladies. Thank
Bye.
you, everyone, for watching.